very emotional. Thank you so much. So today's talk is about the science of happiness. What does it mean to be happy? How to be happy, the advantages of feeling happiness. So without any further delay, I'm going to share my screen with you to embark on this journey to discover happiness and how you can hack your own system to feel happy most of the time, because we cannot be happy 24/7. So let me share my screen with you all. Is it available here? Yeah. There you go. I hope you can see my screen. If not, please just drop me a message and I'll try to correct it. So the happiness advantage, what does it mean to be happy? What are the advantages of feeling happiness? And why are some people feeling fear of happy feelings, happy emotions? So what is happiness? Today we're going to have an overview of what is happiness, the principles to happiness, the 10 most common positive emotions, because we do have emotions, some are positive, some are not so positive. So we're going to see what are the 10 most common ones, the elements of happiness, and how to journey to happiness. First thing is, what is happiness? We have our own definition of happiness, but we have always been taught to get an education, to find a job, to work hard, to be successful, and then we will find happiness. The equation to this is get good grades, go to school, get good grades, you're going to be happy. After getting good grades, you have another college where you want to study, you're going to be happy. You have a very specific field that you want to study, then you're going to be happy. You have a dream job, work hard, get that dream job, and then you will start being happy. But it turns out, like so many things, science and research say just the reverse. The thing is, figure out what makes you happy, pursue it, and you find happiness and a good living to boot. But in so doing, we are always chasing. We are always chasing happiness and we're always running behind happiness. So how can we work on being happy first and then get whatever we want? It is the feeling, the emotion that attracts to us what is good, what is best, or what we really want and need in life. So if you want to be a happy doctor, you are all medical students. You are studying this field for so many years now, and you have a specific job that you want to achieve in life. Start by being happy first. Figure out what makes you happy. Figure out why you wanted to study medicine first, how you visualized yourself doing the job, doing your dream job, and encourage that emotion every day into your system. Happiness affects every part of our lives for the better, including your work, your education, your family, your friendship, all your relationship, your health, energy-wise, you just name it. Happiness affects every little thing around you. And people need to focus on the positive to protect themselves. Why? Because it has been scientifically proven that there is an electromagnetic field which is formed around the body when you generate that emotion of happiness from your heart, and it acts as a protective shield. Now, let us see. What are the happiness advantages? How happiness gives your brain and your organization the competitive edge. Your organization here is referring to your study level, your teamwork, and then to your job level. So the first one will be the fulcrum and the lever, changing your performance by changing your mindset. Among the 7 principles of happiness, you have this one. Why is it important to have a mindset that tells you that you can win? Because you are going to visualize, you're going to use your brain to visualize yourself coming out of situation as a winner. Focus on that emotion that generates from your mind, your heart, and how your body is going to react. There is always a biochemical reaction following the emotion that you trained your mind to believe in. So, is it okay to say that we can be positive all the time? The brain is going to function differently when you change your mindset to thinking positive and to being happy. The way you're going to perform is going to be better because you're going to promote your self-esteem and your self-confidence. The Tetris effect, training your brain to capitalize on possibility. If your brain can think of a negative outcome, it can also think about a positive outcome. You have the ability to think in a positive way. It takes the same amount of energy to worry or to be happy, to worry or to have a positive mindset, to worry or to visualize a positive outcome for any form of situation. The falling up, capitalizing on the downs to create upward moments, meaning that every time you go down, take it as this is an opportunity for you to learn something new about yourself, about your situation, and also how to overcome this situation instead of repeating a pattern. You are going to use this to rewire your brain to think differently. You're going to build the muscle strength of your brain to think in a positive way and to see things differently with a new perspective and also with a happy heart. This is very important here. When you're facing a very down moment, it is good to think of, okay, the happy moments you've lived, to be able to generate the emotion of happiness. When you generate that emotion of happiness, place yourself in an environment where the mind can think differently and can see the situation with another perspective so that you can see how to get yourself out of the situation and how you're going to proceed to it. The zero circle is how limiting your focus to small, manageable goals can expand your sphere of power. Very often times, we place limits, self-imposed limitations, and we believe that we cannot do things, we cannot achieve certain goals because of learned behaviors and self-imposed limitations. So what you do is put yourself outside of your comfort zone and think out of the box. This is what it means here. So you have the circle and then you see all your options inside the circle and you stand outside. You view how you can change every little thing here, how you can manage everything. What are the things you need to build, strengthen, and what are the things you need to refocus on to be able to progress and make things work for you. The 20-second rule, how to turn bad habits into good ones by minimizing barriers to change. Okay, this is going to be very interesting. We all have bad habits, be it like minor habit or being a very bad habit, like maybe procrastination is bad habit. Or another bad habit. I mean, you just name it. You know yourself. Just see into yourself, a little bit of introspection, and pick up the one bad habit that keeps in repeating itself and preventing you from achieving your goals or from doing something new. How to work on this bad habit is what can you do to change it? Snap it in the very 20-second rules. For example, let us say the bad habit is that you put an alarm to wake up at a certain hour of the day. And then what do? We just snooze the alarm. How to apply the 20-second rule here to be able to wake up at the set time and to do the things you have planned to do is the count to 5 rule in the reverse, or count to 10. You start counting 10, 9, 8, reverse, and as soon before hitting 1, you just move and do something. So this is for waking up. Now, another bad habit is when you're sitting comfy and watching a movie, but you know, instead of watching a movie, you have another thing to do, which will be more productive. But still, you spend some time in the comfort zone and you need to move, and you say, okay, I'm going to move in 5 minutes. I'm going to move in 10 minutes. I'll wait for the end of the movie and then I'm going to move and go do what was planned. What you do is here, take 20 seconds. Put the movie on pause. Breathe in for 20 seconds deep. And then count 10 reverse. Count 10 to 1 reverse and then move also. It is hacking your own brain system to be able to do something. How does it affect your happiness? In being able to achieve one goal on your to-do list or on your task list is going to make you feel good about yourself. Doing one little thing a day contributes to enhancing the emotion of happiness, enhancing the emotion, I could do something today that brought happiness forward. So you have actions that lead to happiness, and you have this natural way of generating an emotion which leads to feeling happy. Social investment. Why social support is your single greatest asset? So let us see. You have many different things which contribute to making you happy, cultivating happiness. And how does social investment, social gathering, social support make you feel happy? First of all, we humans are social animals. We need to be with other people. We need to have a group of people either doing a same collective activity or thinking in the same way or just contributing in our society, helping others be happy. And what happens is that when your action contributes to making someone else feel happy, you automatically feel happiness because you have the satisfaction that you have been able to contribute into something great by helping someone feel happy. Simple act of helping a person. You see someone who is in need and you see that you have what it takes to help that person at that right moment. From the feeling of stress or distress to seeing a smile lighten up the face of that person, just visualize this. Maybe you're just walking by someone who's feeling very stressed and you see a lot of tension on the face of that person. And your one little action, maybe of helping someone lift their bag and carry it for a while with them to the door, and you see that smile lighten up on their face. How do you feel about it? Just visualize it. Or if you've experienced it, helping someone and how you've been able to feel that satisfaction that brought happiness, even though you feel like you didn't do anything significant all through the day, but that one little action of helping another person feel happiness contributed to your own happiness. Social interaction, social investment, social interaction also provide many opportunities for self-study. Because when you're in a group of people, you have different school of thoughts. You learn from everyone. Each and every person involved into an activity is going to share their knowledge, share their wisdom. Even if you are not agreeing on the same point, but at least you're going to learn the ways of how others deal with situations. Many of our triggers are only pressed in interaction with other people. The presence of the other is a tool to challenge us, polish us, and reflect to us on our own patterns. If you have to reflect on what you're doing, preventing you from being happy, and you see something in someone else and this bugs you, this is going to allow you to reflect on yourself. What have you been doing all this while preventing you from being happy, and how you're going to change it? So there's a metaphor used in a Zen monastery. We are like a raw diamond, and the grind of hardships and conflicts of community life rounds and corners and make us shine. So what happens is that when you do things on your own, you have no one who's going to push you out of your comfort zone. You have no one who's going to challenge you except the outer situation. Whereas when you have to deal with in a relationship, the hardship is going to be dealing with the relationship in a very healthy and constructive manner that's going to help you build your self-esteem, build your capacity of dealing with situation and with people, and helping you to be a better person. When you become a better person, you feel good about yourself. This is what happiness is all about. And then what you do is you spread that happiness with all the people that you meet around you. Intimate relationships offer a precious opportunity for self-knowledge and transformation. So when you have a partner in your life, I don't know how young you are, but eventually having a relationship with someone later on is going to help you again reflect on yourself in a more intimate way. So because your partner is going to be in a position for you to see your own shadow, your own behaviors, your own biases more than anyone else. So you're going to reflect your partner and your partner is going to reflect on you. So this is also a social investment, but in a more intimate relationship way. And meeting challenges are going to be a great practice in itself to train the mind and the heart. Why? Because you need to work on yourself to change your environment. So many people, they say that I don't like the environment I am now. I don't like this outer environment so much that it is preventing me from being happy. But the thing is, it is not your environment preventing you from being happy. Your environment is only a reflection of your inner being. So whatever you want to change in the outer environment is just changing the way you think and you feel about it. Work on yourself and your environment is going to change. Maybe not 100%, maybe not immediately, but it all depends on how willing you are to change. So what are the common positive emotions that you can work on to feel happiness? Positive emotions are at the core of happiness. You cannot always be complaining and wanting to be happy at the same time. It doesn't work that way. You need to at least hack your own system to feel and think positively and start feeling the emotion of happiness. So how to train yourself? Joy, gratitude, pride, but pride without the ego is going to be something challenging. Serenity, inspiration, interest, awe, hope, and love. Okay, sorry. So, a feeling of joy. If you cannot feel right now a moment of joy, let's say do a flashback of a moment where you experience tremendous joy and you didn't want to live that moment, or you didn't want that moment to come to an end because of that feeling you had. Relive the moment without being stuck in the past or without saying that, oh, it was so good in the past, it was better the other way around. But think of that moment only to be able to feel that joy feeling in your heart and come back to the present carrying that same feeling. Gratitude is really something that helps you most of all to feel happy. Gratitude, why? Because you have to express what you're grateful for and why you're grateful for it. And expressing gratitude is going to enhance that moment of happiness. Let's take a few minutes. I'm going to ask you to think of 3 things you are grateful for and why. If you have paper and pen next to you, write it down. Find 3 little things. So you have a few minutes. I'm going to let you with yourself for a few minutes. Write 3 things that you are most grateful for today, right now? I know it's really early, 10 a.m., Saturday morning. Some of you may be late sleeping, usually on this day. But right now, just think of three little things that you are most grateful for and why you are grateful for it. And observe how you feel. Okay, count down 1 minute from now. So you have 1 minute to write it down. Okay, so 1 minute is over. I hope you've been able to write it down. If not, please sit with yourself afterwards and write it. I want you now to just maybe raise your hand or drop a little message in the chat box. What did you feel when you were thinking of what you were grateful for and why you're grateful for it? What is the emotion? What is the first emotion that you felt? Drop a message in the chat box. What is the first emotion that you felt when thinking of what you're grateful for? Yeah, made me smile. Peaceful, joy, happiness. Yes. So this is the easiest way to trick your mind, to hack your own system, and to feel the emotion of happiness. So when you don't know what to do in a situation and you want to feel happiness and you want to feel joy, just think of three little things that you're grateful for. If you can find more things to be grateful for, that would be great. Serenity. How to find serenity? Finding serenity for myself, I've been trying to practice meditation. Why? Because, science has been doing researches and has revealed that people who meditate daily display more positive emotions than those who do not. Let us see briefly how and why meditation help you to think differently and rewire your system. What happens when you practice meditation? I don't know if some of you do practice meditation or have been initiated to any form of meditation or you've tried it before, but meditation invites you to take a deep look inside of yourself and to grow beyond your mental and emotional limits. So this is how you can practice introspection at least. And what happens is that when you're practicing meditation, sometimes you think about so many things and you think that, okay, meditation is going to give my mind a little break and I'm going to think of nothing else. But then the monkey mind takes over and you start to think about everything else. Going into a meditation session for 20 minutes with the expectation of anything else is going to bring more discomfort. So what you do is set yourself 5 minutes. Don't go for the 20 minutes. Start with 5 minutes of practicing serenity, of indulging in 5 minutes of meditation to focus only on your breathing. That's the most powerful thing that you can do. Why? Because when you're going to focus on your breathing, the mind will be so busy focusing only on your breathing that you will have no time to think about anything else. And that 5-minute breaks is going to bring you some serenity and some peace of mind, and you will feel calm. What happens when you breathe is you rewire your brain, and your thinking system is changed within a few breaths. So you don't have to think about anything else except focusing on your breath. Another positive emotion is to create an interest into something you like, anything that you're passionate about. If you don't know what is that one thing that you're passionate about, go back into your childhood. What was that one thing you were always doing as a child that made you feel happy, or you were like the happiest child ever? Or what is that one thing that you've always wanted to do and only by thinking of it made you feel happy? And if you can, do it. Find interest and do that one hobby, do that one thing that brings you, that makes you feel happy. Now, if you say that I was doing this before, but now I cannot, go back and think about what are the limitations that you are imposing on yourself, or how can you do it differently, or what are the other things that allow you to practice and to feel happy. Hope is another thing that you can practice to enhance positive emotion and feel happiness. Hope, especially in a difficult situation. It is also surrendering that there is a higher form of energy working for you and working with you to help you be a happy person and to have what you want. Maybe you don't get that one thing that you want, but something better is coming. So it's just having hope. I want this, it's not coming, it's not happening, but I still have hope that there's something better coming for me. And this generates the feeling of calm and happiness. Pride, amusement, whatever you do, you have to find the fun in it. We're going to check on pride later on. So amusement is whatever task, whatever work you have to do, always ask yourself, where is the fun in doing that task? Where is the fun in practicing that activity? You need to have fun in everything that you do. This is how you enjoy yourself doing a hobby, doing an activity, doing the work, and this generates happiness. Inspiration, always be inspired and inspire others. Find little ways how you are inspired and how you can inspire others. This is how you leave your legacy to other people, and someone else feeling happy is going to contribute to your own happiness. Always be in awe. And love here is about universal love, feeling love for yourself and feeling love for everyone and everything around you. Now, pride without ego, because it is the ego that kills everything around here. Pride is something like giving yourself a tap on the shoulder for one little thing that you have achieved every time. Like waking up today early and being in this webinar, just give yourself a little tap on the shoulder. Yes, you've been able to make it this morning. You've been able to wake up and you've been able to be here and attending and listening to us and being with us and enjoying yourself. Feel a little pride about it. There is an exhaustive list of how you can generate positive emotions and think differently and build up the happiness inside of your heart. So here you just have 10 basic little things. And I hope that you've been able to take some note about it and that it's been helpful. So now let us see what are the elements of happiness. Having purpose and meaning in life. What does it mean to have a purpose and meaning in life? At any given time, If you feel that what you are doing is not serving you and serving people in a positive way, you can always change and reverse and find that one thing that helps you contribute to your own happiness and contribute to the happiness of others. You need to have a purpose and a meaning in life. What you're going to do, you're going to save lives, you're going to help improving lives of people. This is a high purpose and this has a very deep meaning. So feed that again and again and see how you can motivate, inspire yourself and others to keep going into that way. Looking for opportunities. Every time you want to do something and you feel that there is a limitation, look for opportunities. Look how you can find help if what you want to do requires external help, either from someone else or a group of people. Just look for opportunities, ask for help. It is a great sign of strength to be able to ask for help. Read about what you want, what you're looking for. Inform yourself and never hesitate to ask questions. And especially when you think that, okay, but this is a stupid question, know and remember that there are no stupid questions ever. Developing optimism. It's every time you have this thought that what I'm trying to do, maybe it's not going to work for me. Develop optimism by developing your positive thinking. In order to turn the mind toward the positive, some inner work is required since attitude and thoughts do not change overnight. So it's a muscle that you need to work on and build by developing optimism. How to do this? Well, positive thinking is a mental and emotional attitude that focuses on the bright side of life and expects positive results. So we see some people that they are always winning, like everything is always rigged in their favor, and they are always so positive, they're always so happy, and they always get the best out of life. So what happens to, how come these people are always seen as winners, and they are always optimistic about a future outcome? A conditioning, including the environment. And positive thinking, of course, is not accepted by everyone. Some consider it as nonsense and scoff at people who will follow it. But trust me, there is a growing number of people who accept positive thinking as a fact and believe in its effectiveness. The opposite of developing optimism will be developing anxiety and stress. So I don't think that you want to forecast your future with a negative mindset. So if you use your mental power, your mental thought to see a positive outcome, this is already the exercise, developing the muscle to have optimism and to see opportunities and to see a positive outcome. So it is believing that there is something out there, a greater energy, again, working for you and working with you to help you get the best out of any situation, developing optimism. So the thing is not always being a winner, but always being willing to learn. Every situation carries a lesson, even if you don't get the desired outcome out of it. Developing optimism will be, okay, I didn't get what I wanted out of the situation, but let me see what I learned from it and how I can use it in the future to be able to grow. This positive mindset, this different form of thinking is going to lead you to a happier way of life. And practicing gratitude. You just did the exercise for a couple of minutes and you write 3 things what you're grateful for and you felt that joy. Happiness starts in the brain. When you are practicing gratitude, you have to think about what you're grateful for, and it all starts in the brain. And happiness starts in the brain. It radiates throughout the person, jumps the track to another person, then to a group of community and beyond. So what I saw when I entered the webinar today were happy people, smiling, happy to be here. And that passed on from one person to another and to a community. So we are now a group of people sharing happiness this morning. It is infectious because of minor neurons that compel us to copy others. When you see someone smiling at you, you want to automatically smile. You want to be happy. Someone greets you with a smile, you want to respond with a smile back. So you want to copy others, and especially people who are deeply connected to, who love you, who are putting, like, they want to pass on that happy germ onto you. So just a smile and greeting someone with a smile is a little investment in happiness. Greeting yourself now with a smile, how can you do it? I mean, with the crisis, with the pandemic situation here, we are not meeting as often as we want to do, as we were in the past. But what you can do is greet yourself every morning. You wake up, you look at yourself in the mirror and say, hi, how are you today? And hi, I'm going to have a good day today. Just look at yourself and be happy looking at your reflection, and find one thing to be grateful for to yourself every morning, and start your day with that smile. Use technology as much as you can to connect with people. Video calls is something you can see each other through the screen and smile at each other and tell one good thing that happened to you every day. Share your happiness with people and allow people to share their happiness with you to keep that emotion growing on. Small successes can add up to major accomplishment. So this is it. When you've been able to do a little thing instead of completing the whole task list, this is a small success that you need to congratulate yourself, that you need to take pride into it. I've been able to do this little thing today that contributed into happiness. So it's just celebrating your little wins, as we call it. And smile a little more every time when you do the small accomplishments, because it helps you to think positively. And when you think positively, you have more energy to carry on with your daily task and to complete most, if not all, of what you have to do on a day. So, if positive thinking is so useful for developing valuable skills and appreciating the big picture of life, how do you actually get yourself to be positive now? 3 little things that you can practice. So these are your takeaways for today. 3 exercises. How to increase positive thinking in your life and start being happy is practicing a short form of meditation. Look for a guided meditation, or if you can have a teacher to help you for meditation, just go do it. Writing is another exercise. Write daily about positive experiences that you have had. Practice counting your blessings using the power of gratitude. So this is writing. Journaling is another form. And play. Play is very important. Have you ever seen a child on the playground unhappy, unless the child, of course, is being left alone on a bench, but a child who's enjoying themselves at recess time with all of their friends, they're always merry, happy, screaming out of joy. So make time to play. Don't forget that we have an inner child inside all of us, no matter how old we get, and we need to take care of that inner child. So what you do is schedule time to play into your life. We all have schedules like your classes, your meetings, your calls, weekly events, and other responsibilities that we make time for it. We have a calendar full of it, but we also need to schedule time to play. So think of yourself, when was the last time you booked half hour or 1 hour just to explore and experiment something new, or just do something that you wanted to do as a child, but you haven't been able to do. But now as a young adult and you have some opportunities and some possibilities, what can you do to go and make that experiment and feel happy? Make sure that there is no risky behaviors in there and don't put yourself at risk. So when was the last time you intentionally carved out time to have fun? Okay. So schedule time to have fun. So these are the three little things, three little exercise that you can make time to practice. Like 5 minutes meditation, writing, you can take like 10 to 15 minutes out of your busy schedule and have at least 1 hour maximum every once a week to do something that makes you feel happy. And if you want to have a successful life, no matter what you're doing, start by being happy first. There is no doubt that happiness is the result of achievement. Winning a competition, winning anything you want, it starts with feeling happy first and visualizing that you are doing the best that you can. And earlier I received a list of questions from the participants. So the first question was, can you tell us whether certain people are wired for happiness? Yes, some people are really wired for happiness, and how you can hack your own system to wire yourself to feel happy all the time is to break down the limitations, to practice the little exercises. Your environment and the people in your environment are also major factors influencing your happiness. So there are many little things that add up to the big picture and contribute to your happiness. In the same way that when a flower doesn't bloom, you have to change the environment, we are no different from a flower. If you're not happy in your environment, see what you can do to move and change things and start building your own happiness. Some people have positive outlooks and good dispositions. Why? Because they have been thinking that everything is rigged in their favor. Everything is working out fine for them. No matter what's going to happen, no matter how many obstacles, how many difficulties they have to face, they're going to learn through that situation. And at the end of the day, they're going to be the winners in one way or another. Being the winner doesn't mean that you have to get what you want or what you have been visualizing all the time, but you're going to maybe get something even better than that. So it's leaving room for opportunity and better things to come to you. There's one thing that we usually say is when you're formulating a wish is that, okay, I want this or anything better. So be ready to accept a job. In a few years, you're going to be looking for a job, or maybe you have a very specific place where you want to work. So set your mind that, okay, I want to work in this place and I'm going to be happy if I get a job in this place. But I also make room to welcome anything better. So it's not blocking your own way. It's not sabotaging yourself not to receive what the universe wants you to receive, to be a happy person and to feel happy. To what extent can happiness be learned? That's another question. So you can learn to be happy. There are so many self-help books. There are so many podcasts. There are so many classes. There are online classes where you can learn how to be happy. Harvard University has a whole faculty where they study happiness. They study happiness, how it works on your brain, what are the things you can do. I mean, there are no limits on what you can learn and what you can practice to feel and to be happy. The next question, I think maybe we have seen it during the presentation, is I've always heard that gratitude, service, and service to others are basic components to happiness. How important are these things? Well, I hope that I've been able to answer this question during the presentation. If not, please feel free to drop me a message again. Next question is very interesting one. Is there danger in wanting to be happy all the time? The real danger in being happy all the time is that you're going to enjoy a very good health, and your doctors are not going to have any patients, unfortunately. That's the only danger if you're happy all the time. Why? What happens to your system when you're happy all the time is that you have a natural way of boosting your immune system, meaning that you're less prone to virus, you're less prone to any form of disease. And even if one organ or the other is malfunctioning, just feeling happy and enhancing the emotion of happiness is going to boost your system. It is the natural way of your heart telling your body, hey, I love you. Please take care of yourself. I'm going to take good care of you. I want you to be happy because I'm happy in the mind. I'm happy in my head. So I want my heart to be happy. When the mind and the heart are working together, the whole bodily system is going to follow the pace. Are we overly anxious about it? I mean, just be naturally happy. You cannot be anxious and happy at the same time, and you cannot be complaining and wanting to be happy at the same time. So choose happiness and do what it takes to feel happy. But make sure that you don't hurt yourself in the process and you're not hurting other people in the process. Doing things that make you feel happy, you cannot hurt yourself or hurt any other ones. When I'm speaking of hurt here is of hurting your emotions. Next question is, how do you measure happiness? There are various ways to measure happiness. At the Harvard University, they ask people to meditate, and they have this cap, and they measure the brain activity when they are meditating and feeling happy and everything. And for us healers and dowsers, we have pendulums, and we have another instrument called an antenna, where we measure the auric field, because your aura, you have energy bodies, you have your physical bodies and you have your energy bodies. So when you're feeling happy, you're feeling gratitude, it intensifies the electromagnetic field around your heart, and it creates a shield around your physical body. So we have instruments to measure it. But if you want to see it naturally, look at the face and the eyes of happy people. There is a natural glow on their face and their eyes. So this is the most common way to measure happiness. How do we know if we are happy enough? You're going to know, you're going to feel comfortable. The first thing how to know is your self-esteem is up, and you want to help others, you want to pull others up so that they grow at their own pace and that they grow their self-esteem. It is something very personal to you. It is an inner work when you're going to feel happy, and how much. There is never too much of happiness in someone's life, because every time you feel happy, you want to pass on the light of happiness to another person. And there is more than enough for everyone to feel happy. There is no limit. So someone cannot come and steal your happiness. You can only lend them a little bit of your joy, of your light to feel happy. There is more than enough for everyone. So just remember this. So I have a question here. Is it natural to feel fear because you realize you're too happy? Okay, this is a good question. Is it natural to feel fear? This is a learned behavior. Thank you for this question. So this is a learned behavior, because we always hear this, like, I'm feeling too happy right now. I wonder what's going to happen next. I wonder what's going to be the next experimental or experience that's going to make me feel down. Just remember that Feeling happy, you can feel happy even when you're going through a rough phase in your life. The fear of happiness, being too happy in certain situations, is allow yourself to feel happy, allow yourself to feel the emotion in the moment and be in the moment. It's not natural to feel fear because you realize you're too happy, because then you're living in an uncertain future. So you're not really in the present moment. Being in the present moment doesn't allow you to feel anything other than the emotion you have right now. I don't know if it's clear enough what I'm saying, if you can relate to this, but if you're living right now in this moment and you're feeling tremendous joy, tremendous happiness, and then just out of the blue, you're like, I'm scared, I'm feeling too happy. It's because you're already living in anxiety of a future that's not there. So you're already thinking of what's going to happen next. I don't want to lose that feeling of happiness. I don't want to lose that emotion. You're not going to lose anything if you practice living in the moment. You practice being in the moment and feeling all your emotions. Learn behaviors. Now use your meditation time to introspect. What are the learned behaviors? What are the patterns that you've been repeating that prevent you from being happy? Because there is one thing that people do, and that is a common mistake. Everyone wants to be happy. They read so many books, they attend so many workshops, and they practice the little exercises. But way too many times people have been telling me, I'm doing all of these things, but it doesn't seem to work for me. I feel happiness, but it is only short-lived. How can I spend more time being happy? And then the next question is, what are you doing? What are the other things that you're doing preventing you from being happy? So what they've been doing is practicing little things to feel happiness, but they haven't been changing their patterns. They haven't been changing their lifestyle, their behaviors that were causing them to feel stress, to feel anxiety, or to feel anything that was not a happy and positive thinking. So before practicing anything too intense to feel happy, do a little bit of introspection. Observe yourself without blaming yourself at all, and see what are the little things that you were doing that were making you feel unhappy, that were making you feel stressed, that were making you feel anxiety and anything else. Start working on that. Change the little things. Adopt new habits. How to get rid of bad habits is by adopting a new habit. How to get rid of a negative thinking is by thinking of 3 positive things each time you have one negative thought. You have to counter the negative thinking, the negative feeling by adopting a new way of life, a new routine, a new mindset, and make it become your way of living and your normal. And the last question that I received beforehand was, what makes you happy? Happiness is a very personal relationship to each one of you. What makes you happy? Just waking up every day, knowing that you have a day full of possibilities, full of good things waiting for you, full of learning that's going to happen. That's what makes you happy. Meeting your friends can make you happy. Doing something, anything. Find that little thing that is very personal and very dear to you that you can practice, that you can do either on your own or with some of the people that you love, or with a group of people who have the same drive as you and make you feel happy. Social gathering, I don't know about the group organizing this event today. You had a common idea, a common drive, wanting to be happy. So working together was something that make you feel happy. Find that one little thing, find little activities, little things that you do that contributes to making you feel happy. Don't do one just, it's like eating a cake. You love eating one cake, and then one day you see that there's a whole cake, you order the whole cake. You don't eat the whole cake in one go or in one day. You take it one slice at a time. Happiness is the cake. And how you want to share it with yourself and with others is you decide on how big the slice you want to have. So understanding what is happiness. How can you be happy all the time? Yes, you can be happy all the time, even in difficult situations. When you release and surrender, knowing that you are not in control of everything. There is always a higher form of energy helping you, working for you, and working with you. This is how you can be happy always, even in difficult situations. And remember that happiness is contagious. If you still cannot feel that happiness, if you still cannot, or you find it difficult to work on yourself to feel happy, just observe your environment and get in touch with people who are always happy, always smiling, always spreading joy and love all around them. Spend some time with them. It's contagious, believe me. It's a happy gem that you can share all the time. And the good news is that people can and do change at every age. You're never too young or never too old to do something new and to be happy. So just focus on the positive, do something to build your happiness muscle, your brain muscle, to thinking positively and to live positively. So that was all for me. Thank you all for listening, and I'm ready to welcome more questions from your part.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, for answering the questions. And I'm checking the chat, but I don't think we have any more questions. So I think we can call it a day. And thank you so much, Rebecca, for this insightful talk. It has been very enlightening for me, and I'm sure for the others as well. We are definitely going back with some very useful tips on our journey to happiness. And there are so many things that I am sure I'm going to apply from tomorrow, especially the 20-second rule one. Definitely, that will be the first one to apply. And it's been a pleasure having you among us. And we're looking forward to inviting you again sometime in the future, maybe. And thank you all for taking your time to join us today. And if you wish to review today's talk or share it with your friends who could not make it today, it will be uploaded hopefully to our YouTube channel. And you can find the link in the chat. And also maybe Rebecca will send me her slides, which we can send to everyone as well. And also all the attendees will receive a SOE point, provided you fill out the Google feedback form. The link again is available in the chat. And you can also send a message to our Scope email address with your name, year, and Neptune code. And that's all from me. And thank you again, everyone, for being here and those who helped make today possible. And wish you all a nice weekend. Bye, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.